I was explaining to someone about the fact that I'm so excited about this sermon today because I'm a philosopher, and this is deep, deep philosophy that hasn't yet been discussed or uncovered in the way that I discuss it or have uncovered it. And when I was first starting on my journey of creating Unicult, I was thinking of all the different ways that I could be successful. Should I be a CEO? Should I be an academic? How should I take this fire inside my body and try to communicate what I'm trying to communicate to the world? And I did consider going into academia and following a path of philosophy and becoming a philosopher, but I knew that it was a male-dominated space, and I knew that I wouldn't be taken seriously because of the way that I look. And that was really frustrating to me. So I realized I could just become a pop star instead, because that was more aligned with what someone like me, who looked like me, would be successful at doing. And I would just take the philosophy and infuse it in the pop music. And I understood music as a mechanism of spreading information and spreading ideologies anyway. So I thought it was actually a much better fit than the academic BS of trying to compete in a male-dominated space where I wouldn't be taken seriously, and where a lot of time is wasted arguing rhetoric. The reason why I became a pop star cult leader instead of a philosopher is because I want to give you the pure information. I don't want to sit here and cite a bunch of scholars. I don't want to go through the history. I want to say I honor everyone who came before. I pick up the energy and the information in the public consciousness. I read books too, but I read them really fast. And so with honor and homage to all who came before me, I'm here to simply be a pop star cult leader, and I'm so happy that you're here. You're here with me, denying my reality. Whatever, no big deal. So we're talking today from Fundamentals of Unicult, page 85, on morals, and I had some really awesome breakthroughs recently. I've been working on a book called The Spiritual Approach to Emergent Technology, which I actually got a little bit deeper with the moral philosophy of Unicult. So there's a little bit more in this sermon than what is in this book. First and foremost, with morals, the reason why I'm wearing what I'm wearing today and standing in front of this brainwash spiral is because, historically speaking, we have all been brainwashed to believe in a dualistic system. We have even gone so far as to believe that the dualistic reality is the fundamental way that the universe operates. We think of the fact that there could be no good if there wasn't evil. We really think of things as being in a balance between good and evil. Am I able to sit here and tell you there's no such thing as good and evil? There's only things that prevent us from having fun? It's up to you. You have the perception of reality, and in your perception of reality, you have the ability to change the fundamental structure of the universe, especially when it comes to these kind of fluid concepts. I don't believe in a black and white reality, but I play with the duality, and I play with the good versus bad, and I try to open up your mind to see that it doesn't always apply. That's why we use the word brainwashing. That's why we use the word cult. If you're sitting here and you really believe there is only one definition for a word, the word cult, let's say, and you think it's an evil situation, but then I'm standing here and I'm calling myself a cult leader, but I'm obviously spreading pure joy and information and just living my life in a way that brings me joy and brings other people joy, then you are forced to contend with the fact that there is something beyond the black and white situation of what you have previously thought was true. All cults are evil, all cults are bad, that's what you thought before. But I'm here to bring the rainbow of nuance. I'm here to break open that box to show you that you are being brainwashed, that you are literally stuck in a way of thinking, a way of seeing the universe that is not actually beneficial to you. And that's the root of the Unicult teachings. What is beneficial to you? What is detrimental to you? Why does it come down to this? Are we just hedonists? Do we want to just have pleasure and pleasure only? No, that's not what we're talking about. But there is an alignment process that happens when you align with the spirit of uni, when you align with source energy, when you align with the highest good for all. when you align with God, when you align with whatever you believe, the galactic center, the galactic sun, whatever your beliefs are of that cosmic energy that flows throughout all things, there is a feeling state that we have access to that shows us the truth, which is that we want to be aligned with good. We want to be aligned with love. We want to be aligned with care and compassion. And those things make us feel good because they are divine truths, because that is our compass to the direction that we are meant to be moving forward on. I've said it a million times, but if you're playing Mario Kart and you go off the road and you're spinning out, you're not meant to stay spinning out. You're meant to figure out how to get back on the road. That road is the path to joy. That road is the feeling of ecstasy, of being alive. How do we get back to the road of the ecstasy and joy of being alive? How do we get back on the road of peace and understanding for ourselves and for others? That's what our souls yearn for. There is no point in spinning out in negativity and in negative thinking because it's not what our hearts actually want. When we're talking about morality and we're talking about the black and white duality, we have to mention the spiritual singularity. What is happening right now in the spiritual singularity? We're getting closer and closer to this center of the spiral. We're getting closer and closer to this place where black and white are becoming rapid fast. You can look at the political situation as an example right now. This is going to be changing every second. But maybe you were like, I'm a Democrat and that they're a Republican. And now all of a sudden you're like, I actually align more with Republicans, but I don't agree with this, but I do agree with that. But I don't want this, but I do want that. And all of a sudden it's not a clear line anymore. And you can't just wear a badge or a label of something and just associate yourself to one or the other chunk, because we have to acknowledge that reality is the rainbow. As we go through this portal of the spiritual singularity, it's very uncomfortable. The more you attach your self-worth and your self-perception, your self-definition to your labels, to your societally given norms, the more uncomfortable you're going to be, because you're going to have to start defending things you don't actually agree with and you don't actually believe in, because everything's becoming dismantled. The best thing for you to do while you're going through this portal is find unconditional love, learn how to meditate, and learn how to let go of your attachment to these different societal indicators of success or of identity. Money, your job, your political identification, all these things. You need to learn to let go of these labels and learn how to listen to your heart and learn how to be on your true path. When we're talking about morality, and we say it's not black and white, and we say, believe whatever you want, we still have to have some guiding principle. Like I said, we're not just hedonists going crazy, taking whatever and harming people. So when we say all one, we say harm nobody, including yourself. That's our caveat that helps us stay on the path. And when we talk about harm, how can you possibly know that you're harming someone or not harming someone? How can I possibly sit here and tell you to take responsibility for the harm that you may or may not cause in the world? There's no ethical consumption under capitalism, right? And are you responsible if your parents are homophobic and you're gay? Are you responsible for making them happy and being straight? These are really good questions that have been asked and which I have an answer for. The first part of this whole thing is what I was just talking about, listening to your heart. Your heart is your moral compass. Your heart is actually aligned with divinity. You can channel divinity through your heart, and you can make decisions that are either moral or non-moral, or as we say in Unicult, beneficial or detrimental, based on your own connection to the divine source energy, based on your own interpretation of it. When your body, your energy body, your consciousness, your mind is filled with fear or pain, you're going to have a really hard time understanding that cosmic truth. You're going to have a hard time taking in that pure energy, and you're going to have a hard time knowing what's right or wrong. If you were raised super Christian and you're gay and your parents tell you that you're going to hell and you believe them, but you are still gay and you can't help it, but you also would like to make them happy, What is the right thing to do? Because maybe you're full of fear of going to hell, you're full of pain of your parents not validating your reality. And it can be really hard to know what is the right thing to do. I'm not supposed to harm anybody, but I'm apparently harming my parents by being who I am. And that's why a lot of people become suicidal, because they feel trapped in this reality of, I can't change who I am, but I feel like who I am is harmful because other people are telling me that it's harmful. This is a tricky situation, but there is an answer. And the answer is that you have to be yourself. We say begin within, and we say harm none, including yourself. Your parents might say, this is harmful, this hurts us that you're choosing to be gay. But if you repress who you really are, if you aren't honest about what you really want, about what your life path really is, you are doing great disservice to yourself, and you're doing great harm to yourself. You have to break through your fear and your pain, and you have to listen to your true heart and stand up for who you are. As you clear out the fear and the pain, which is a disruptive, confusing energy, you will find it easier and easier to listen to your true heart and to radiate out your authentic reality, whatever that is. And then you might say, Unicole, but isn't that harming my parents still? And the answer is no. If you are doing what is aligned with your heart and you're not directly harming other people, I mean physically, or, creating some kind of psychological torment in them on purpose, you are allowed to be who you are. If other people are judging you and trying to make you smaller and they're telling you to not be who you are, then that is actually them trying to harm you, and that is actually their fear and pain corrupting their sense of divinity and of morality. So this is a really tricky, confusing thing if you're not really aligned. But as you align with your truth, with who you really are, it becomes clearer and clearer to make these decisions of what is really harmful and what is really not harmful, what is really beneficial and what is really detrimental. One of the truths of all one is that we cannot thrive while any other suffers. No one can thrive while any other suffers. We are all one. If there is suffering in the world, we cannot reach our maximum potential of joy. It's all or none, as Dr. Bronner put it. But that doesn't mean that you can't start aligning your own energy. And the way to align your own energy is to clear out your fear and pain, to be true to who you are, and to do your best to make your own moral decisions based on how you would want other people to treat you. But that doesn't always work, does it? Because other people might not want the same things as you. So we have to listen to each other and hold space for each other and try to understand that each person is having a unique personal reality. We have to listen to ourselves and stand up for ourselves. And we have to make the decision from a place of unconditional love, as often as possible. Every moment, we have to root ourselves in unconditional love, and we have to break apart the confusing situations of black and white thinking and just really tune into the truth of our reality, which is that we are love and that we're here to spread love. The idea of benefit and detriment is something that I recently uncovered, which is a really important part of All One, which is the idea that as you're going about your life and you're coming up with ideas, or you're just, working a job, or you're creating things, or you're putting art into the world, or whatever it is, you have the ability to analyze your emotions, your behaviors, your words, your art, your work, from this place of benefit and detriment. I often use the idea of a technology corporation. Are these technology corporations like a computer manufacturer? Is a computer manufacturer aligned with All One? The answer is no, because at some point in the process, there's pollution that happens, there's slave labor that happens, there's a disregard for the energy of the earth with the mining of the materials. Am I saying that computers shouldn't exist? No, not at all. I'm saying that we need to bring intention into each part of our experience and align it with the good of all. Are you responsible to not buy any computers because there is harm in the system? No. I ask each of you to take responsibility for your own thoughts, take responsibility for your own body, take responsibility for your own relationships, and bring unconditional love to those places. If you are a mega corporation CEO, then yeah, you should be taking responsibility for your manufacturing line and the system of creation that you're bringing in. But if you're just a regular person living your life, you have plenty enough to take care of. With every thought, with every action, with every word, with every choice that you make towards your body, your energy body, and your physical body, that is enough work to start really integrating these concepts. And trust me, it matters. You are allowed to participate in the world the way that it currently is. I'm not asking you to stop participating. Can you use less plastics? Yeah. Can you, commute with other people instead of driving by yourself? Probably, yeah. What are ways that you can create more beautiful and sustainable relationships with your consumption and with the earth? Can you spend more time in nature? Can you meditate more? Can you talk to the bees? Can you stop killing bugs? Can you stop eating meat? These are energetic alignments that have a huge impact on your own energy of benefit versus detriment. And as you become aligned as a being of benefit, as a being of, I know who I am, I know how to be in true love, I know how to interact in a place of pure gratitude and joy, then you are actually shifting reality profoundly. Your own actions within this system create the system. It's as simple as that. So remember that we honor other people's experience. We honor other people's feelings. Maybe someone is full of fear and pain and they're judging you and they're trying to make you smaller and they're trying to put you down. You can listen and just hold space. But first and foremost, remember who you are. Remember that you matter. Remember that you're allowed to be who you are. And if you're in a strong enough space, you can listen and you can say, I understand that you feel that way, but I'm not going to change who I am. And I hope that you find peace with letting other people do what they want. One of the best ways I've seen this put is I was talking about someone who shocked me quite a lot, and I was kind of uncomfortable with their whole paradigm. And so I was kind of gossiping, and I was telling somebody else about it, and I was like, oh, well, they think this and they think that. Isn't that weird? And the person just looked at me and they said, are they happy? And I said, oh, yeah, they are. They weren't harming anybody with their beliefs. I just found them scary because they triggered in me a sense of fear, like I should be making myself smaller. So if you're wondering if you should be judging somebody else, or if you're coming back at someone who's judging you, just say, you know what? I'm happy. I'm not harming anyone. Or are they happy? Are they harming anyone? Every decision that you make, you know inside your heart if it's good or bad, if it's beneficial or detrimental. You know that you should or shouldn't be doing something. And I don't just mean against other people. I mean against yourself. The idea of being a moral person starts within being moral to yourself. It starts within having kindness and compassion for your true desires, for your child self. What do you really want? In what ways are you saying, shut up, baby Unicole, we gotta work today? And I'm like, but I just want to stay in bed. And I say, no, we have stuff to do. And what is that moral? Is that kind? In our relationship with ourselves, we begin this process of being patient. We begin this process of being loving. We begin this process of listening to experiences we aren't comfortable listening to. And we learn to let go of the structure of fear and pain that society has put onto us, of conformity, of behaving like a robot for the sake of other people to feel comfortable and safe. And we allow ourselves to be who we really are. We allow ourselves to listen to our true desires. And the thing about listening to our true desires is that it's okay to do that. As long as you're not harming anyone, that is what the spirit of Uni wants you to do. That is what God wants you to do. That is what the highest energy wants you to do. You were born on this planet as you are for a reason. You were born as your unique incarnation to be that unique incarnation. You were not born to shove yourself into a box and act like other people. When it comes to having harm toward other people, if you know how to love yourself, if you know how to not kill bugs, if you know how to not eat meat, and you know how to treat all animals with respect, even when they're annoying you, or children with respect, or your own child self with respect, you are doing the work of bringing in the fifth dimensional reality. You're doing the work of bringing in new earth. You're doing the work of creating heaven on earth within your body. If heaven existed on earth, but you didn't feel it, would you be in heaven? You can create heaven in your body and in your mind, and it literally doesn't matter what else is happening, because you have the power to create it. And as you create it, you give other people the opportunity to create it. Somebody says, this is kind of cringe. I love this comment. I love this idea of being cringe. Guess what cringe is? Cringe is your own shame. It's your own inability to hold space for things that are different from you. It's your own discomfort with your own expression that you're trying to put onto someone else. It's not my cringe. I am very happy to be who I am, talking about what I'm talking about. So I hope that you feel better. All right, let's do our prayer. Spirit of Uni, we call you here today to bless all the people who are here. We call each person to shine brightly as they do, to feel comfortable with who they are, being brave. We pray for all the haters. We pray for all the Christians who are so scared. I actually feel like a lot of Christianity is like real. Like, I really do agree. What do you think Jesus would say about me? Jesus and I would probably smoke weed together. You know? I don't know. I feel like maybe you need to read the Bible again. All right, Spirit of Uni, we call you here to bless everyone. Happy Easter. Zombie Jesus and I are going to go hit the blunt today. And I hope you all have a wonderful day. And just think about these things. For your Unicult practice, go ahead and maybe write down the ways that you have like thought of something. Okay, here's the first one. Write down a thought of something that you used to think was immoral, but then you got more information and now you don't think it's immoral. So just acknowledge that your conception of morality has changed. And 2, ask yourself, in what ways are you being immoral or detrimental to your child self, to your own self? In what ways are you trying to judge yourself and make yourself smaller, and you're not actually being kind-hearted enough to be who you really are? This might not seem like the path to morality, but it is, because it's the path to love. It's the path to self-love, and it's the path to loving other people. It's the path to unconditional love. All right, Spirit of Uni, we're blessing each person. We're grateful for 1 million views on YouTube, quite an accomplishment. And we are ready to be the religion of the future. Thank you so much for this opportunity. Thank you so much for your attention. Uni bless. Goodbye, everyone. Have a good day.